company by the name of Artralab reached out to me, and I've reviewed one of their lenses here on this channel. They make a lot of vintage-inspired lenses from Leica and Nikon, and they said, hey, Bobby, we made a watch. It's our first watch. Would this be something that you'd be interested in maybe talking about? Now, I've never reviewed watches here on this channel, but I like watches. And so when they sent me photos of the watch and they kind of explained to me what they were doing with it, kind of an ode to the history of photography, it made me stand back and go, oh, this is interesting. I like this. And so I said, sure, send it over. And here we are. This is the Artra Camera One, their very first timepiece that they have made. And I have to say, for their first watch, this is impressive. Let's talk about it. All right, guys, full disclosure, as I mentioned, Artralab did send me the watch over. I believe I do get to keep it. No money has changed hands. They have no say in the content of what I'm going to say, the good and the bad. These are my thoughts and my thoughts only. This is a very limited run by Artralab, and I think they're making less than 2,000 pieces in total, maybe less than 1,500 if I'm not mistaken. But let's talk about some of the specs on this real quick. The diameter on the watch is 42 millimeters. Lug to lug is 48 millimeters. It's 316L stainless steel. Now, the movement on this is an ISO 426A 40-hour power reserve. Now, this is going to be an Asian movement in the watch, but I can tell you I've had no issues with the movement, keeping time. It's been pretty accurate for me, and I've been wearing it for like about 2 weeks now, so I'm happy with it overall. Power reserve, obviously we wish it could be 60 or 72 hours, but that would cost a lot more. And this is their first watch, so 40 hours is more than enough. The water resistance is up to 50 meters. It's a sapphire crystal glass, which has anti-reflective coating to it. Now, the bezel on this has a ceramic inlay. It's black with white markings. There is a luminous dot near the f-stop here because it's a Sunny 16 principle bezel. The hands and the second hand are luminous. There are no numbers for keeping time, so it's going to be more like a Moser watch, or maybe like if you want to go back years ago, like a Movado watch of sorts. The way they've really finished this watch is impressive, especially for the price point. And it's the nuances that you're going to see around the watch which make it very, very interesting. Now, on the back of this watch, on the rotor, you're going to see these horses. And that's going to pay homage to Eadweard Muybridge's images of horses in motion from 1878. Now, this was the first time they ever captured horses running, and there was always this discussion, do horses actually have all 4 feet off the ground when they're galloping? And based on Eadweard's images, which we obviously know now, the answer is yes, they do. And that really changed photography and even cinematography going forward, and this rotor pays homage to that. Now, on the front of the watch, on the dial, this is where it gets very interesting. Now, this watch does pay tribute to the Leica One from 1925. Now, I just was in Wetzlar earlier this year, and I got to see one of those cameras that was auctioned off for 7.2 million euro. And what Oscar Barnick did, if you're not familiar, and this also kind of ties into the Leica 100 celebrations, is that he created the first commercially available 35 millimeter film camera. And what he did is he had film loaded horizontally versus vertically. Now with this pays homage to the film, how it used to go down vertically. And so you see that here, a piece of film strip. It's a simulated film strip over the movement. And it's kind of a brown color that you would see out of, 35 millimeter film. Now on the top left of the watch, where you might see a helium escape valve on an Omega, when you turn the dial, the aperture blades close down like you would do on a lens from stopping down. So F1 to F22, and it closes all the way down. And that gives you another look to your watch, more of a black face on your watch with the aperture blades. It's very beautiful, very refined. It's done so well that you just look at it and go, oh, it's nice. You almost have 2 different looks of watches when wearing the watch. You have an all black dial, or you can have the brown film strip with the movement underneath that, giving more of somewhat of a skeleton look. So it's very, very interesting. But that leads us into the bezel, which has a ceramic inlay on it, which is really, really nice. And it's got white markings, as I mentioned, and it's based on the Sunny 16 principle. Now, back in the day, before we had light meters in our camera systems, we had to use the Sunny 16 rule. So based on your aperture, the speed of your film, and the shutter speed, that triangle to capture the image at the correct exposure. Now, this actually does work, and it goes from f22 to f1 on the aperture here. And I believe, my eyesight's not the best, is that the ASA or ISO, where the film speed goes up to 800 if I'm not mistaken. Then, of course, you have your shutter speeds up to 8,000. Now, as I mentioned, my eyesight's not the greatest because these markings are quite small. So if you wear glasses or if you have better eyesight than me, you definitely can see this. In bright daylight, it's much easier to see. but it's not something I think you're going to use all the time, but it pays homage to a time in photography when we would use the Sunny 16 rule. But if you're out taking, let's say, a vintage M3 Leica camera, M2, M4, then you may take advantage of something like this and may use it, or even older Nikon SLR cameras or other cameras out there that don't have light meters. Now, one of the things I did on this watch right away is I changed out the strap on this. And by the way, the strap that comes with it is a quick release rubber strap. It's more of a matte finish. It's more of an everyday kind of strap, but I wanted something a little bit more refined, a little bit more luxurious. So I got this crocodile strap from Jason and Sharon here in Singapore. They make leather goods for Leica cameras and everything else. And I did a fantastic job on this. It's a black crocodile strap with white stitching. And this ties in really beautifully to the dial or the bezel on this watch. And it looks gorgeous. And it really just elevates the look in my opinion. And I've got this quick release deployment clasp on the back of it, which also the Artralab one does come with that as well. And I would say if out of anything, that might be the weakest link is the strap they've chosen for these watches, because when you put it on a strap like this, I mean, it instantly elevates this being to a watch worth a few $1,000s. It looks like it's worth a few $1,000s. Everybody will have their opinion on that. I even tried it with a brown strap at D-Lugs, and it also looks really good with a brown strap. Much more of an everyday watch, kind of more of a rusted brown, so you could try that as well. There's plenty of options out there in the market for various different straps, and you can play around with colors as well. Now, in terms of the colors, let's talk about that for a second. It comes in stainless steel, rose gold plated, and there's a glossy black. Now, I opted for the stainless steel. I wasn't too sure of the rose gold, but when Artralab actually sent me a video after I received this of the rose gold, I was like, I should have gone for the rose gold for the review unit because it is beautiful. Limited to 99 pieces, but the rose gold is tastefully done and it really does elevate the look of the watch. And I would say with a croc strap like this, that rose gold will be stunning, absolutely stunning. The all black one is really nice, gives you more of a sportier look, but I feel like the stainless steel and the rose gold are the standouts for me, but everybody will have their opinion on it. Now, in terms of the wearability on this, it's a little on the thicker side with the glass. It comes around 15.2 millimeters for the total thickness of the watch. If you're not taking the glass in consideration, it's around 12 millimeters. So for some of those people that like thinner watches for dressier occasions, this may not be that watch. I've worn it with dress shirts and it's fine on the cuff, but everybody has their preference, okay? But one thing you're going to notice as you look to the side of the watch as well, too, is you actually have your depth of field scale. So if you ever looked at a Leica lens and you looked at from where the lens mount is, you have this depth of field scale there. Then, of course, you have your aperture ring, and then, of course, you have your lens. And that's what this simulates. So if you hold it this way, it's like you're looking at a lens, so to speak, more of a compact lens, but it's there. And there's also these little markings around the side of the bezel, too, as well. You barely can see them by the naked eye, but it's like your focus ring here. So it goes down to, I believe it is 0.7 meters, like for the rangefinder, and it goes all the way up to infinity. So if you look at it that way, it's very cool. It's like you're focusing a lens when you're doing this. And they've done it so tastefully and it's so beautifully. If there's one thing I wish was improved on this watch, I wish the bezel was a little bit tighter, or at least had clicks. It has tension to it, and obviously I think they want to keep it a bit smooth so you can adjust, based on the aperture of the lens that you're using for the Sunny 16 rule. But I feel like it could be a little bit tighter because sometimes you moving your hands around or whatever the case is, and you can see that the bezel might move a little bit. But it's not like, you can see it's not like super loose. I mean, there's tension there, but that would be my only feedback. Outside of that, though, I have to say it's a really nice looking watch. The display back is really well done. The craftsmanship, the engraving here is really nice. But what Artralab's done here with the Camera One, if you're looking for a really cool gift for somebody that loves timepieces, that likes something different, and a conversation starter, this is a nice piece to have. If you're looking for your first timepiece that's a little bit more serious than, let's say, an Apple Watch or a smartwatch out there, and you're looking for something with, automatic movement and you love photography, this might be something to consider as well. They've really done a nice job with this. So that's it, guys. Those are my impressions on the Camera One. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think of this watch? Would this be something that you pick up for the price point, or would you say, not for me? Love to hear from you guys on that. And also big thanks to Artralab as well for sending this my way to review it. And guys, if you like this video and you want to see more watch reviews, let me know. First time doing this. I love timepieces, I love watches, and I'm definitely open to talking more about them. So with that, guys, take care, and I'll chat to you all very, very soon. Bye.